Stop scrolling, because the receipts that just dropped on Porsha Williams are bigger than reality TV drama. We're talking fraud allegations, money trails, and leaked contracts that could destroy her entire brand. And trust me, you've never seen the Real Housewives like this before. What if I told you the glamorous life Porsha Williams showed us might have been built on lies? Explosive receipts, emails, contracts, even financial records have surfaced. And once you see the connections, you won't look at her the same way again. She was loved, admired, and defended for years. But now, shocking receipts are dividing fans, and some are saying Porsha Williams fooled us all. The question is, did she build an empire or a fraud? Porsha Williams has faced her share of criticism in the past, but this time the situation feels different. Explosive receipts have surfaced, and they point to something much bigger than the usual reality TV drama: serious allegations of fraud. The leaked documents, money trails, and insider whispers are creating a storm that could completely reshape how fans see the Real Housewives of Atlanta star. For years, Porsha Williams has been a magnet for headlines, whether it was her memorable run on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, her bold business ventures, or her very public relationships. She built her image around luxury, confidence, and a little bit of drama, which kept fans watching and talking. But now, her carefully crafted brand faces one of its biggest challenges yet. The latest allegations tied to Porsha aren't just whispers in a comment section or anonymous blog posts. This time, they come with weight: financial records, contracts, and leaked communications that suggest her glamorous empire may not be as spotless as it appeared. These so-called receipts have turned social media into a firestorm, leaving fans divided, critics energized, and media outlets racing to cover every angle of the unfolding scandal. The spark that ignited the fire. Scandals aren't new to the Housewives world. The franchise has built its reputation on blending wealth with chaos, broken friendships, heated arguments, and shocking betrayals. But what's different here is the severity of the claims and the immediacy of the reaction. Within hours of the documents leaking online, hashtags like #PorshaExposed and #RHOAScandal were trending across Twitter and Instagram. Some fans defended her fiercely, claiming the receipts were misleading, taken out of context, or fabricated altogether. To them, this was just another attempt to drag down a successful Black woman who had built her brand against the odds. Others, however, saw the scandal as confirmation of long-standing suspicions. They argued that Porsha's rise had always felt too perfect and that the cracks were bound to show eventually. YouTube creators and TikTok commentators wasted no time breaking the receipts down line by line, turning the allegations into content for millions of curious viewers. Suddenly, Porsha wasn't just a reality star facing bad press. She was the headline dominating every gossip blog, podcast, and entertainment feed. The Bravo effect. Part of what makes this scandal so explosive is the platform Porsha comes from. Being part of the Bravo machine gave her enormous visibility. The network turned her into one of the most recognizable faces in reality TV and gave her opportunities to launch businesses in beauty, fashion, and publishing. But that fame also came with an unforgiving level of scrutiny. On the Real Housewives of Atlanta, every aspect of her life was placed under the microscope. From her marriage and divorce to friendships gone sour, the cameras captured it all. What fans sometimes forget, however, is that this exposure doesn't end when filming wraps. Once you become a housewife, your life is permanently open for public consumption. Every decision, every deal, every slip-up becomes material for debate. So, when the receipts hit the internet, the Bravo-fueled culture of instant judgment amplified them tenfold. The same machine that built Porsha's stardom was now magnifying her alleged downfall. Fans as detectives. Reality TV audiences are no longer passive viewers. In the age of social media, fans see themselves as investigators and commentators. They screenshot receipts, decode cryptic Instagram captions, and dig up old footage for clues. In Porsha's case, Twitter threads and TikTok breakdowns began connecting her alleged financial dealings to past controversies, painting a picture that seemed more damning by the hour. This kind of audience participation keeps scandals alive far longer than a single news cycle. What begins as a leaked document quickly evolves into a community-wide investigation, with fans driving the narrative as much as the media does. The bigger picture: who really benefits? The truth is, scandals like this don't just affect the star at the center, they fuel the entire entertainment ecosystem. Gossip blogs, YouTube channels, Instagram pages, and even mainstream outlets like Page 6 and TMZ thrive on these stories. Every article, video, and post generates clicks, views, and revenue. Even Bravo itself stands to gain. Controversy drives ratings, and audiences often tune in more eagerly when real-life drama spills into the show. For the network, scandals are double-edged. They create headaches in terms of image management, but they also guarantee higher viewer engagement. In this sense, Porsha's alleged downfall isn't just personal, it's become profitable content for everyone else involved. Consequences beyond the screen. Of course, while the media may benefit, the consequences for Porsha could be very real. If these receipts prove true, she risks more than just public embarrassment. Sponsors and business partners may begin distancing themselves to avoid being associated with controversy. In industries like beauty and fashion, credibility is everything, and any hint of fraud can be devastating. There are also whispers of potential legal action. Insiders claim that individuals who may have lost money through Porsha's alleged dealings are considering lawsuits. If those move forward, this could shift from a Bravo storyline to a courtroom battle with long-lasting repercussions. Fans torn between loyalty and doubt. Perhaps the most painful fallout is happening within Porsha's fan base. For years, supporters defended her against rivals and rooted for her success. Now, many of those same fans are questioning whether the glamorous life they admired was built on shaky ground. Comment sections are filled with messages like, "I believed in her for years, but now I don't know what to think." Still, others remain convinced she's the target of a smear campaign. They argue that Bravo thrives on drama and could benefit from letting her take the heat. Some even speculate that jealous castmates or former business partners may have had a hand in leaking the documents. Scandal as a rite of passage. What's clear is that scandals have become almost synonymous with the Housewives brand. From Teresa Giudice's fraud conviction to Jen Shah's shocking arrest, the franchise has weathered and profited from legal controversies before. In fact, some fans joke that a housewife's career isn't complete until she's survived a major scandal. The difference lies in whether the star can bounce back. Teresa returned from prison more popular than ever, while Jen Shah became one of the most talked about housewives even as she headed to sentencing. For Porsha, the question is whether this moment marks her undoing or a dramatic turning point that keeps her at the center of the Bravo universe. The road ahead. Right now, the receipts have shaken Porsha's image in ways that may be hard to repair. But in the world of reality TV, scandal isn't always the end. It can also be a rebirth. What happens next will depend not only on the truth behind the allegations, but also on how Porsha, Bravo, and her fans choose to navigate the storm. One thing is certain, this story has pushed Porsha Williams into uncharted territory, where reputation, influence, and even legacy are on the line. And whether she emerges stronger or broken, the world will be watching. What's unfolding isn't just messy, it's raising questions about trust, influence, and how much of reality TV is actually real. Because when a star of Porsha's level gets caught up in controversy this serious, it doesn't just threaten her image, it puts the entire Housewives franchise under a microscope. In this breakdown, we'll unpack the receipts, look at who leaked them, and explain why this could be one of the most damaging scandals of her career. And trust me, some of the connections being exposed are shocking. From spotlight to scrutiny. Before the controversy, Porsha was already a household name. Born in Atlanta in 1981, she came from a family with deep ties to civil rights history. Her grandfather, Hosea Williams, was a close ally of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. That legacy gave her credibility, but it also set the bar high. Her reality TV journey began in 2012, when she joined Season 5 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta as the wife of former NFL player Cordell Stewart. At first, viewers saw her as refined, soft-spoken, and eager to present the perfect wife image. But after her divorce in 2013, Porsha reinvented herself, embracing a bolder, outspoken personality that both fans and critics couldn't ignore. Over time, she became known for her quick comebacks, her willingness to clash with castmates, and her growing empire outside the show. She launched businesses in beauty, fashion, and publishing, always positioning herself as a woman in charge of her success. Bravo leaned into that image, making her one of the franchise's brightest stars. But fame always comes with scrutiny. Every relationship, business venture, and financial move was picked apart by fans and critics alike. And while that visibility boosted her profile, it also laid the foundation for the scandal now unfolding. The receipts that changed everything. The Real Housewives franchise thrives on drama, arguments, broken friendships, and over-the-top fights. But this situation is far more serious. The newly leaked documents point to questionable financial dealings tied to Porsha's brand. The evidence includes alleged payment records, emails, and agreements that critics say involve misleading endorsements and misrepresented investments. Some deals reportedly promised huge returns that never materialized. While such claims remain unproven, the word fraud is now circulating widely across Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube commentary channels. The timing of these leaks is also suspicious. They appeared just as Porsha was gearing up for a high-profile return to Housewives. That has led some to wonder, were these receipts strategically dropped by rivals, ex-business partners, or even Bravo insiders hoping to stir up drama for ratings? Regardless of the source, the fallout has been immediate. Fans began digging into her past ventures, questioning why some beauty and fashion products disappeared so quickly from the market. Others pointed to whispers about charity events linked to her family's legacy, where not all the funds allegedly made it to their intended causes. Even more concerning are the rumors of legal investigations. While nothing official has been confirmed, talk of subpoenas and audits has only fueled the fire. The bigger picture. For a reality star whose entire image is built on luxury, success, and authenticity, even the suggestion of fraud is devastating. But what's even more striking is the reaction. Loyal fans who once defended Porsha no matter what are now demanding answers. Social media is divided. Some say she's being unfairly targeted, while others argue this is proof she's been selling a carefully polished illusion all along. And the most unsettling part? Insiders suggest this may only be the beginning. More documents could surface, potentially tying Porsha to even larger controversies. If that's true, the storm around her career is just getting started. So the question remains, will these receipts bring down one of Bravo's most bankable stars, or will Porsha once again flip the narrative and come out on top, like she's done so many times before? Porsha Williams had worked for years to shape her image, glamorous, outspoken, and sometimes misunderstood. But now she's caught in a storm that even she can't control. What makes this scandal different is not just the seriousness of the claims, but the speed at which fans, castmates, and even the entertainment industry reacted. Within hours of the news breaking, Twitter and Instagram exploded with hashtags like #PorshaExposed and #RHOAFraudScandal. Loyal fans rushed to her defense, insisting the so-called receipts were either fake or the work of jealous rivals. Others weren't so forgiving. Longtime critics claimed they had seen warning signs for years and were quick to say, "We told you so." YouTube creators, gossip blogs, and TikTok commentators jumped in almost immediately, dissecting the documents line by line. Some even compared the situation to Teresa Giudice's infamous fraud case on The Real Housewives of New Jersey, fueling speculation that Bravo might once again face a legal and PR nightmare. But the harshest blows didn't come from the public, they came from Porsha's own circle of housewives. Kenya Moore, her longtime rival, dropped a cryptic Instagram post that fans quickly interpreted as shade. While she didn't mention Porsha by name, the timing was impossible to ignore. Other castmates, like Candy Burruss and Marlo Hampton, stayed quieter, but fans examined every like, repost, and comment, trying to guess where they stood. Soon, mainstream outlets like Page Six and The Shade Room picked up the story. Once the tabloids start covering a housewife scandal, it's a sign the drama has broken beyond the Bravo bubble and into broader cultural conversation. For Porsha, that spelled trouble. The more people discussed it, the harder it became to control the narrative. Bravo under pressure. As the scandal grew, fans demanded Bravo take action. Some argued she should be suspended or even removed from the show if the allegations proved true. Others pointed out that Bravo has always thrived on controversy, and keeping Porsha on screen during the fallout could actually boost ratings. After all, viewers tune in for luxury and lifestyle, but they stay for the meltdowns and scandals. But beyond ratings, the risks are serious. If these allegations hold weight, Porsha could face real financial and legal consequences. Brand partners and sponsors, who once saw her as a marketable star, may cut ties. Companies don't want to be associated with someone accused of shady dealings, especially when millions are watching the receipts circulate online. Behind the scenes, whispers are even darker. Some insiders claim people who lost money through her alleged business dealings are considering lawsuits. If that happens, this won't just be a Bravo storyline, it could become a drawn-out courtroom battle. Fans divided. For many fans, the fallout feels personal. Supporters who once defended her now admit they feel betrayed. Comment sections are filled with posts like, "I loved her for years, but if this is true, she fooled us all." For a reality star whose brand depends heavily on loyalty, that kind of shift is devastating. Still, not everyone is convinced she's guilty. Some believe Porsha is the victim of a smear campaign designed to bring her down. They argue that Bravo thrives on scandal and could easily benefit from letting her reputation take the hit. Others think jealous rivals, or even castmates, may have had a hand in leaking the receipts. This divide only fuels the conversation. But one thing is clear, the controversy is bigger than just Porsha. A franchise built on secrets. When we step back, this isn't just about one housewife. The scandal highlights a deeper truth about the entire franchise. The Real Housewives universe was built on drama, conflict, and the cracking of carefully polished images. Since its Atlanta debut in 2008, millions have tuned in season after season. Yes, fans love the mansions, luxury cars, and vacations, but what keeps them watching is the chaos when the shine wears off. The formula is simple. Secrets are currency. And the moment a housewife steps onto the stage, her personal life becomes public property. That's what makes scandals like this so explosive. Porsha's receipts may only be the beginning. Rumors already suggest there's another layer to this story, one that could involve people close to her. If those whispers prove true, the drama we've seen so far might be just the tip of the iceberg. Porsha Williams built her fame by living out loud. Nothing was off limits. Her finances, her relationships, her friendships, even her biggest mistakes were turned into storylines for the cameras. And if the drama wasn't naturally unfolding, Bravo always found a way to create it. This nonstop exposure helped launch her into stardom, but it may also be what's dragging her down. On one hand, Bravo gave Porsha everything, a massive platform, business opportunities, and a level of fame most reality stars can only dream of. On the other hand, it put her under a spotlight so harsh that every decision, every romance, every business venture was picked apart by fans and critics alike. When the recent receipts surfaced, that Bravo-fueled culture of scrutiny made the fallout even louder. But here's where it gets bigger than just one person. Scandals like this don't only impact the star, they feed an entire media ecosystem. Gossip blogs, YouTube commentators, TikTok tea pages, and even outlets like TMZ and Page 6 thrive on this kind of drama. When Porsha's alleged receipts hit the internet, the story went viral within hours. Articles, reaction videos, and Instagram threads spread it like wildfire. And fans aren't just watching from the sidelines anymore. They've become investigators, breaking down cryptic posts, screenshotting receipts, and speculating on motives. The Housewives audience has evolved into its own dramatic community, mirroring the confrontations we see on screen. That means scandals no longer stay confined to the show. They live and grow across social media, fueled by the audience itself. So, what does this mean for Porsha? It means her alleged scandal isn't just personal, it's content. And in the entertainment business, content equals money. Bravo knows scandals bring ratings. Media outlets know they bring clicks. Fans know digging into drama gives them influence. Everyone gains something, except the star at the center of the storm. This cycle raises uncomfortable questions. Is Bravo exploiting these women's struggles for profit? Or are the housewives fully aware of the trade-off, accepting that fame and fortune come with the cost of public humiliation? Critics argue the franchise thrives on exploitation, turning divorces, money problems, and even legal battles into entertainment. Others say the women understand the game and use it to their advantage. Porsha's case shows how messy that balance can get. On the outside, she's glamorous, successful, and adored by fans. Behind the scenes, she's facing allegations that could shake her entire brand. Yet, paradoxically, the scandal keeps her name relevant. And in the Housewives universe, relevance is power. History proves that scandals don't always end careers, they can sometimes revive them. Teresa Giudice went to prison, but came back as the face of New Jersey. Jen Shah, even while headed to prison, became one of the most talked about housewives of all time. The real question is, which path will Porsha take? Will this controversy end her chapter on Bravo, or will it cement her as one of the franchise's most unforgettable stars?